mean,
this
only
kid.
MVP candidates can lead the league in scoring at the point guard position. I mean, it's critical to his team's success. Most guys would say, well, he's shooting too much. But no, his teammates say he's not shooting enough. The only time he's not supposed to shoot the basketball, Ernie, is when he doesn't have it.
If he holds on to the scoring title and keeps running the offense like this, he'll have a claim as the best point guard in the game today. Heard it here first.
And the only time he's not shooting, Kenny, is when he doesn't
question.
have it.
You like that one.
I see what.
Boy, what a great shot of the city right there. This is 2K Sports, broadcasting from Houston, Texas. As the Rockets take it to the hardwood, we've got some terrific NBA action in store for you today. With Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg, this is Kevin Harlan. And, of course, Ryan Howland. Capella's checked in, and it's Trevor Booker in for Michael Beasley. Big group substitution here for the Clippers. Smith checked in for Jordan. Hill comes in for Jeff Green. J.J. Redick's checked in for Jamal Crawford. And it's Williams in for Chris Paul. And the Clippers, looking at who they've got, Griffin is out there with Hill. Then there's J.J. Redick, and it's Smith, and it's Williams at the point. Now here's Freak. He's guarded by Williams. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
That's right.
And guys, what do you think about the hustle stance for the Clippers?
Well, I think the defensive aggressiveness on display here has caught them off guard, playing airtight defense and coming up with the steal.
And also, how about how well they defended the rim? Not just blocking shots, but also altering them here in this first half.
Jared Bayless is checked in for Corey Brewer. And both free throws good from Freak. When you're in the NBA, time becomes your most precious resource. And Clark, from what I hear, Freak has been making the most of it by getting in extra work when he can.
Well, it's not always easy to find time to do all the things you want as an NBA player, but it's nice to hear, really encouraging to hear that Freak values honing his skills as much as anything else. You've got to keep that a priority when you're an NBA player.
Booker dishes to Harden. And a wide open look for Freak. It's good. The assist that time from Harden. Freak's got 5 points so far. There's 1:38 left to play here in the first. Smith sets the pick for Williams. Loses his man off the screen and lays it up and in.
Now, how about how he sets his man up there, runs him right into the screen, and then gets the basket?
Here's Freak. Steps back and trains the jump shot. He's got 7.
How good is that? I mean, he can make a defender look foolish at times.
Kicks to Griffin. And it's Freak with the rebound.
And already they've staked out a noticeable advantage in terms of aggression and controlling the backcourt.
And the trend they'd love to continue right through the next 3 quarters as well, Greg.
And he gets the bucket.
He's been one of their more reliable options today, guys. I mean, his shooting has led them to this lead.
Williams passes to Redick. Screen by Smith. Now here's Redick, guarded closer. From deep. Rebounded by Capella.
He certainly didn't take advantage of the poor defense, but they can't count on him to continue missing.
I tell you what, I think he'd be happy if he can continue to get looks like that.
They really can't allow him too many open looks like that. I mean, that's just inviting trouble.
They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've had a number of empty ones, a long time without a basket.
They got to find something, you're right. 6 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Outside Williams to end the run. Good, the assist goes to Hill. Williams has got his 2nd bucket of the night.
The shooting percentage is really solid so far, fellas. Good start to this game for him.
Now, Freak. There's a good screen for the 3. Oh, and the buzzer beater's good.
What a 3 at the horn as they end the quarter on a high note.
Couldn't agree more. That'll give them a nice little lift, I think, going into the next quarter. think
And a word from Chris Paul, who has a little something to say about the success of a very special and influential teammate, Blake Griffin.
You know, Blake.
Of course, we know that Blake would say the exact same thing about Chris Paul. You know, Chris and Blake gets going. So on the floor for Houston. Freak, he's in at point guard. Brewer is out there with Beasley. Then there's E'Twaun Moore, and it's Howard in at center. Okay, well, let's check in with Doris Burke reporting from our sideline in this game. Doris, take it away.
Well, Kev, Freak in the last matchup against the Grizzlies was simply terrific. He had 27 points, and he got there with his usual way. Just an impressive barrage of threes. This outing just the latest from him in what has been an incredible display of basketball.
Doris, thank you. Well, guys, you know, he made play after play in that game.
You know, let's see if he can keep it going tonight. I say he does. I'll bet he goes off again.
that's a pretty bold prediction there. I mean, he's going to have to be very, very strong to even come close to dittoing that performance.
And I like how he puts himself in position there to finish on the break.
Yeah, you know, that's what we call seeing and feeling the game. Excellent read of how that play was going to develop and where the ball was going. That's stuff that you oftentimes can't teach, Greg.
Obviously, a mix-up defensively on that possession.
And it's the Clippers with the rebound. Fresh from a win against Portland.
And even in hostile territory, as they were that day, they had no jitters at all. I mean, the confidence kept growing as the shots kept falling.
And they were falling big time. I mean, from the top to the bottom of that roster, everybody was locked, loaded, and spraying jumpers.
Clippers trail by 4. It's Crawford with the drive. And you can count it. He'll go to the line with a chance to make it 3.
I think they need to get much more disruptive.
And the first half comes to a close.
Doc, how would you assess the team's performance throughout the first half?
Brewer comes in for E'Twaun Moore. James Harden, he's checked in for Jared Bayless. And Freak subbed in for Patrick Beverly. And then for the Clippers, Jordan, he's checked in for Smith. And it's Paul in for Mo Williams. Freak in at point guard. Howard is out there with Beasley. Then there's Brewer. And it's Harden in at the 2-guard spot. So that's who's on the floor for the Rockets. And that is good.
You don't need much range to hit from that distance, Kevin.
Clark, they can burn some clock if they want to.
Yeah, and maybe buy a little oxygen while they're doing it. Can't seem to find the range here in the second. Did a great job in the first, hitting 3 from outside.
Paul dishes to Reddick. Here's Hill. Banked in off the glass.
Just lazy defense on the glass there.
Well, nobody boxed out. Nobody put a body on anybody else. Things like that not only drive the coach crazy, that stuff gets under my skin.
Freak kicks to Howard. Shoots it up. And it's Houston with another.
He's had an off game thus far, but his team has been able to pick up the slack and find a way to get it done here.
Doris Burke has some information for us. Doris?
Kevin, Doc Rivers was just addressing the plan with his team. They've been getting torched with all these shots from long range, and he simply said, we can't lose track of their shooters, guys. We're over-helping inside, and it's leaving them wide open. Can they make the adjustment, guys?
Jeff Green is checked in for Los Angeles. Crawford comes in for J.J. Redick.
Well, there was no hand in his face right there. I thought for sure he was going to knock that down.
Can't hit. The Clippers go the other way with it. Crawford kicks to Jordan. Crawford with the ball. Out defended by Freak. And they double up Paul. Jordan the screen. Here's the floater. It'll go. The Rocket lead is cut down now to just 6, and the basket from Crawford.
I like it. I like it. He broke out the fancy finish there.
Houston's gone 0-3 so far in the fourth quarter from long range. There's 47 seconds left to play in the final quarter. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up.
Shooting for Houston, Freak.
He hits the first one, and that makes it a 7-point lead. And so both free throws are good, and it's an 8-point game. For the Houston Rockets, they come in off the loss to the Grizzlies. Paul passes to Crawford. Crawford with another miss. And so it's Houston with it. From deep three-point range, sinks it. What range from outside. Wow.
Man, he's got a tremendous ability to knock it down from deep. I mean, that's a big-time triple.
No doubt that's a difficult shot. You're talking 3 or 4 feet beyond the arc.
And it's Paul penetrating. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up.
First team foul.
Gets the first. That brings them to within 10. And Paul drills both of them. 16 seconds left to play here in the fourth. Freak with it. So we see the Rockets get the win here. Even early on in this one, it seemed like they were happy to be playing at home tonight.
Well, you know, it makes a big difference. I mean, you never felt like they had any doubt that they'd come out on top.
And a chance now.